Oh man, welcome back guys. It is a cool crisp morning here in the Mid-South. It is the first day of the 2023 deer season that is actually below freezing. It was weird out on the interstate, or on the highway, it was 30 degrees, but when I got under the canopy of the woods over here it was 32, so the woods are insulating a little bit, but it is super cold, it is super still, it is super quiet. It has been a rough start to the deer season thus far, but I have a lot of confidence in today. I have got a huge pack that I'm fixing to load out. It is 2 hours before daylight as it is right now because I have got a tremendous walk, but I've got 2 spots I'm going to hunt today. Of course, if I don't tag out this morning or shoot one this morning, I technically can't tag out, but I got 1 spot I'm going to hunt this morning that's overlooking some brush. I've got a tree marked that's a pecan tree that's really tall amongst a bunch of stuff that's really short and thick and gross. I'm not sure exactly if I can see down in it, but that's the plan for this morning. And this afternoon I've got an area scouted. I don't have a tree picked out, but this afternoon I'm going to run in and find a tree to hunt this afternoon. But out of the 2 spots, one of them should produce something. I have faith. Anyways guys, I am fixing to load my pack. I've got some provisions to be able to stay out there for a long time. Always bring your beef jerky, some water, got some coffee. I'm fixing to gear up. I'll see you guys when it gets daylight. Alright guys, this is what I'm continuing with. It's not quite a full moon. It is October 31st. Today is Halloween. But full moon was a few nights ago, but it's still pretty full, as you can see. See guys, this was with no light on. That's just the moon. It's nuts. Let me turn you around. See the moon right there? That is absolutely nuts. My camera should not be working right now, but it is picking it up because of that moon is so bright. I don't have to use a flashlight. I can make it. I got almost a 2-mile walk in here to this spot, and I don't need a flashlight the whole way. It's nuts. This hunt starts off like any other hunt. Sun coming up, the woods coming alive, birds chirping. I've never hunted here before. It's exceptionally thick. I got as high up in this tree as I could get, and you can see kind of what I'm looking at here. It is pretty thick and gnarly. I had never hunted here, so I wasn't positive if I could see a deer down in it, but I could see the ground in a few places, so I know if a deer came through, I'd be able to see them, at least in certain spots. But I'm in a pecan tree, and there's a bunch of little pecan trees around me, and it's attracting all sorts of wildlife. Birds, squirrels, and hopefully eventually some deer. And so I'm watching these squirrels and the birds, and I look up, and on the far horizon of this brush, I saw a buck standing right against the tree line all the way in the back. And by the time I got the camera turned around, he was gone, and he went off down in those big woods, or at least that's what he looked like, and I lost him. And so I'm just panning up there looking, and I look down, and this little guy is right in front of me, like maybe 35-40 yards from the tree, and I never even saw him walk in, and he just appeared right there. That's how thick this stuff is. But this little guy walks a beeline straight to me. This deer just sits there and puts his scent out on this limb for what seems to be forever. And so the camera's facing this deer, but I'm not paying attention to him at all. I'm looking at where that bigger deer went, and I'm trying to locate him, and I can't see him through all the thick brush, but I assume he was coming towards this deer. And this deer, you can see it's literally right below me, and it got a little spooky when it got right there. I think he got a little whiff of me right there, but he didn't really know what to make of it, so he's just kind of standing there looking for a while before he decides to walk off in a different direction. So the little 4-point decides to wander off out in the thicket, and I turn around and start looking for the big deer all over again. The problem is I turn all the cameras off except my GoPro, and then I turn around and the deer is right below me. Alright guys, so I was watching that 4-point, and he had just walked off, and I originally saw a bear buck up on the hill, and it kind of dipped out over the edge, and I couldn't figure out where he went. Well, every now and then I can hear a little grunt, just a little bitty grunt out here, and I couldn't figure out where the deer went. And I looked down, and the deer is like 20 yards right here underneath me. And I had my GoPro on my head, and I really hope that GoPro caught this, because I never hit the record button on this camera. But guys, look, the deer is dead right under the tree. I really hope my GoPro caught it, because this camera was not even running, which sucked, because it was perfect. Like, the deer walked right to the tree. I mean, that 4-point hadn't been gone 3 minutes, and this guy, I just turned and looked, and he was 20 yards. Anyways, let me get down on the ground and I'll show you him up close. Alright guys, well, I apologize for the crappy camera work there. I thought I hit the record button. Thankfully I had my GoPro on. I think I captured some of that on my GoPro. I was recording the rest with my phone, and I had him, he was showing up on the screen. I was like, there he is, I got it, it's perfect. And I don't think I needed to be in a hurry. He wasn't going anywhere fast, but you could see, I mean, I dropped him in his tracks right under the stand. Guys, I saw him he was like 20 yards, like right there. And this stuff is so thick in here. like you can only see deer in certain little holes. I mean, you could see them fine, but they need to be standing in a hole to see them. And so he crept up through this brush so sneaky. I never saw him, but I can hear him. Actually, I can hear him grunting, not like tending grunts, but like he was trying to talk to that 4-point, and it was just a little bitty light grunt. And when he popped out, he was literally right there, and I was like, oh my God. And I had just enough time to turn the camera over here that wasn't on and shoot, and he dropped dead in his tracks. But check this guy out. Not an overly big deer, but for West Tennessee public land to start the season off with a nice 8-point, I'll take that. I've still got 2 buck tags, plus any extra deer that you can get extra tags for shooting does in CWD. They'll give you extra buck tags. So anyways, I'm gonna get this guy to the truck, get him processed. You guys have a good one. I finally got one on the ground. It's taken me a while. I went through the whole bow season with nothing. So, all right, let me get him to the truck. I got a lot of work to do. I'll catch you guys later.